Okay, we do now in Lňikutei Torah, the Parsha Shelach. We'll do the 8th Maimer in the Parsha Shelach, which is an explanation of the previous Maimer, which we learned, the Makoshes עצim. Tzaz Biur, Apostle Makoshes עצim. And now this is a little bit of explanation, some of the sources for the Makoshes עצim that we learned in the previous Maimer. Hine, Pirush, over there he explained Oisim Ritzono Shel Mokom B'chulu. So he's trying to explain further, what does it mean? They do the will, but it says the will of Mokom. He wants to say they make a rotzin in Mokom, because that's the level of Memalekul Almin. It's not B'chol Ma'idcha, that's Ki Mokom U'b'chinas Memalekul Almin. Mokom means is Hashem, the way Hashem fills the world. So that means Hashem is the place of the world is not his place. Basically, Hashem is not in space. Hashem is in space, like we say, Hine Mokoim Iti. We say places with me. When Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, you'll meet me, he says, not meet me in a place, but the place is with me. Basically, that the place is not, Hashem is not in space. But this is all the level of Memalekul Almin. And also the idea of L'chiyu Matiyas Atzmik. Hashem said to the Levana that she should diminish itself. That's the level of Memalekul Almin. The Shemesh is like the Soviv Kol Almin, and the Levana is like the Memalekul Almin. That's the diminishing itself, coming into the level of Memalekul Almin. And what happens is Shenasis Rosh L'Shu'olim. She becomes the head of the foxes. She was the son of Larayis, while the level of Malchus is in Atzilus, is the lowest level. The Yereach is Makabel from Zoh. Zoh is the Shemesh, and the Malchus is the Yereach. So Hashem says, go, Matis Asmo, diminish yourself, go down, Memalekul Almin, go down into Biyah. Shenasis Rosh L'Shu'olim. She becomes the head of the foxes, meaning the head of the Chayis, La'achis, Biyah, B'chinas Mokim, to vitalize Biyah in the level of place. So that means Mokim. So Mokim is basically Biyah, Memalekul Almin. What it means, Ritzono Shel Mokim? Ritzono Shel Mokim, Shehu Keser de Rachel. Rachel is Malchus. Rachel is the wife of Yaakov. So she is the Eishes Chayla, Teres Bailam. So that is Ritzono Shel Mokim, meaning that's the Keser of Rachel. Rotzin is level of Keser. So while Rachel itself goes down into Biyah, she goes down into Biyah, but the Keser de Rachel, Hu Bashamayim. Keser of Rachel, that stays in Shemayim, which is Zobaila. Her husband is Zoh, and the Keser stays in Shemayim. The Tes Sfiras Acharon is the law, but it's the 9 less Sfiras of Rachel, of Malchus. Those 9 Sfiras, Hem Levadam Shior Lamato Be'el Mabriya. Only they alone descend below into the world of Bria, but the level of Keser. Sometimes the 10 is Keser, Chochma, Bina, and the Sfiras, not Das. So Keser stays on the top, and the 9 go down to Bia. I'm Ashkos with the Parsha Midbar. I'm Geshmel Parsha B'Chukosh Daf Gimel Lamed Beis B'Shem Rabbi Chaim Vital. It says Tes Chalokim Shebebriya Chulu Aisha. So also mentions there's 9 parts that are in Bria. Hine Machatzois Laila, midnight. That's the time of Tikkun Chatzois. It's called the Tikkun Rachel, Tikkun Leah. So this is a different zmanim. That is the Kudus Rachel. Brings down Aimig the Shmelech, Parsha Emer, that's the Komad Aleph. So the Kudus Rachel Tachas Hamita, under the bed. So basically, Rachel Mishabeches Umezameres B'Tshuka Nifloah. Then she praises and she sings with a great yearning, a wondrous yearning. It's like a Neid Elikim Ha'olam Eloha. It's a lamp of Elikim that goes up by itself. I mean, that happens in the Kudus Rachel, the Knesset Yisrael. That happens by Yidden, by Chatzois. Li'iskalel be'echad mimidoisov yizborech sheb'chinas atzilus. To be included, to go up in one of the midas. I guess there is Ava, Yira, Chesed, Gvura, different levels. Wants to go up. Paul says, so to sing you honor, I will forever thank you. Which means that's the level of shukah that they have. David HaMelech HaBasholem, this is a pasuk in Tehillim. David HaMelech HaBasholem, he was a chariot level Malchus. And he was always saying, sings and praises, Kidei Lasis Loi, Keli, Kidei Shtim Zameres, to make for her a vessel. Who's her? Her is for the level of Rachel, for the level of Malchus. So make a vessel to be Zameres. This is Mizmer LeDavid. Song, David is singing. It says in the Zohar, Kedosh Perek Daled Aleph, Binyan David Shapira v'chulu, that David is good, etc. Never ceases, never stops, always. Okay, so so therefore it's possible that you have the level, the avodah of love, like in the Hoya, Hanal, but it's still not called the That's not the love to save. This is all to the level of Mamala. It's all to the level of Atzilus. Make a keli. This is all a vessel, a vehicle, which is the connector. It's not ligvul. It's limited. That is the level. Shabeprotis u'ati the nukva. Specifically, in detail, you can talk about Seviv Klamim, or you can talk about the Atik of Nukva. Ritzoin is Loimer. What it means to say is Kimoish and is barley ill. Shekeser the Nukva. Nikritzoin Shamokim, just like we said before, the Keser of Nukva, which remains in Atzilus. That's called, he said, that's the Rotzin of the Mokim. Mokim is Biyad, that's the descent. The Rotzin Shamokim, that stays in Atzil, that's the Keser. Ulamata Zo B'chinas B'chol Moedecha. And below that's the level of B'chol Moedecha, higher from Magbolas. The Inyan, B'chinas Tasfiris de Nukva, Zo Ulamata B'chinas B'chol Nafshecha. So the Tasfiris of Nukva, that is the level of Nafshecha. B'chol Nafshecha, that's the level of the Tasfiris, and Keser is the Rosh. Yuvan Oid Inyan Zeh, B'mashachos Mokom Achar, Kal Kol Kvoid Chuppah. So over there it says the Kvoid Chuppah, Kvoid Kalo, that is the honor of the Kalo who Aved B'chol Nafshecha. That's B'chol Nafshecha. The mind Zamercha Chovet, that sings Chovet. That's like by David HaMelech we said before, it's a Keli. Chomedecha, Ru'uso de Libo, that's the level of Rotzen HaLev. That's not in a Keli. So B'chinas Chuppah Makif, which is Keser de Nukva. That's the Keser of Malchus. Ubesarusa del Tatis, Rusa del Eila, Mamshich is Galosev Kulam Kulayim Shom. Then, when you bring up through the level of B'chol Moedecha, you get the Sefer Kulam, which is higher than Didragbol. So, Eisim Ritzoyne Shel Mokim, you make the Rotzim for the Mokim. Why? Because through your Isrusul Tata, you make the level of Keser, the Atik, to come down. First, you make the words, you do his words. So this is in the parentheses, right in there. So basically, that's Shu B'chol Moedecha. The level of higher than Medidim Agbola, he says that is B'chol Moedecha. Ulekach, When it talks about the B'chol Nafshechem, it says, "V'osafta digonecho." Machmas, you have to collect the digonecho. Machmas shuadayim v'shuadarge, because we're still at the level of halos l'tzutzi kadushim, to bring up the holy sparks and fuzorim, basic masomatan in the occupation of business when you're working b'charisha u'v'zriya chulu. So that's not the highest level. Not b'chol medecha. That's still medida. That's still the level of bir netzutzim. V'zeu shomer hashviel v'sholem. He says, Adam chayrish. He said a person will plow. What's the Torah going to happen to the Torah? It was machlokes between Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who said if a person is going to plow, when is the Torah going to happen? Because so why was he criticizing? Because that's only in the level of tikkun of malchus of nukva in a space in mal kol ha'almin. So this is limited. That's the chodesh. That's the birurim. Abalosid duzorim biro. Then you won't need to. So bismansha ein oisim l'tzoyne shel mokim. You don't make a rotzen shel mokim. So then you have to do the birurim. That's why Rashbi says, he answers the pasuk, goes after the gonech. He says, when ein oisim, we have to plow. But she avalosi dom zomroim over there, she tfeilim liYisrael. They are going to be secondary to the goy. They will be fulfilling the mitzvahs that a woman is obligated. And they too will be able to be elevated. The Zorim. But then they will be elevated, them too. So the Zorim will be able. Right now we sort it out. But in the future, the Zorim will do it because they can also technically be elevated. They'll be mechuyev in mitzvahs like a woman. So the Goyim will also become partially Jewish, partially mechuyev in mitzvahs. Abu Yisrael Asman, Neishe Yiyu, B'chinas B'chol Meidechem, Meidechem, Dahainu, Shukah V'rotzin, Hamokim, B'chinas Sevklam. They have the rotzin to the mokim to Sevklamim. They will not be able to fix the mokim to be mevarer. They'll eat from what's red. Okay, we'll move it over here. Sorry?